Now, in this video, we will try to figure out why production possibilities curve or frontier is a curve, not a straight line. And we will continue uh, using our nation economy as an example. Here again, I should say island economy. So let's draw the curve. Um, and let's also assume that we still live in that island where we catch fish and do some uh, well, agricultural work. How do you call it? Farming. Let's say farming. Now, let's type here fish. It's just writing it is difficult, so fish. Typing obviously easily. Tomatoes, tomatoes. And remember, we said that PPF can be a straight line, and also can also be a curve, concave curve. In fact, it's always concave curve because of the existence of opportunity costs. And why there is an opportunity cost? Well, we will describe this now in this video. Let me see if I could draw a curve that's bulging out, a concave curve. No, I don't think I have it here. So let's leave this. And I'll just change the color now. And where is my, okay, it's here. Well, in the video, I think you will see my cursor highlighted in yellow, but here I don't see my cursor. It's very tiny, so it's in red. Oh, yeah, I can see it now. So this one I want it to be a curve like this, a sharp decline, for example, a little bit of curvature here and then a straight line. Now let's see if we could explain opportunity cost using this curve. These are basically intervals, equal intervals. Now say that if we put all our capital, labor and technology into producing tomatoes, we will produce 500 tomatoes. I think it was 400, wasn't it? Or 400 here, for example. It was the opposite in the other video, but leave it for now. Now, so if we put all our resources into tomato production, then we produce 500 tons of tomato, but 0 fish. And as we produce more, if we want to consume fish, for example, and if we want to catch more fish, then obviously some of the people who are employed in tomato production have to go and catch fish. So we are losing them. That means we are reducing our production of tomatoes. So the next point, say, is here. So by catching some fish and spending some of our time growing tomato, we are basically producing, then say this is what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, say this is 420 tons of what, tomatoes. Then the amount of fish we can catch will be this here. That's the amount of fish. Notice that, say, so this is basically 350-ish, yeah. No, that's not 350-ish. 300 is probably a 310 is probably a reasonable amount here. So tons of fish. So by not producing a bit of tomato here, reducing our tomato production, we are actually boosting fish stock, because then these people who shifted from tomato farming to fish catching, fishery, basically are catching more fish now. So basically the opportunity cost of how much did we lose here? 80 tons, yeah. 500 minus 420, 500 initially, then we are now producing 420. So opportunity cost of 80 tons of tomatoes is equal to 310. Oh, sorry, It's the opposite, obviously. Opportunity cost of catching 310 tons of fish, 310 tons of fish is equal to 80 tons of lost or unharvested tomatoes. So we are actually not producing that much. So we are giving up production of 80 tons of tomatoes to catch 310 tons of fish. Now, what if we reduce the workforce from tomato and put this workforce into fishery? Then now the amount that we produce of tomatoes will then be 80 minus, for example, let's say 350 here, 350 tons now. And those people who now join the others to catch fish will now catch how much? Well, a bit more, not as much before. So this is probably something, so it's between the two, right somewhere in the middle, say 340, let's say, yeah, 340 tons of fish now. So it's only an increase, small amount of increase here. Yeah. So how much did we catch here? That extra catch. That extra catch was about 30 tons, say. Yeah, 30 tons extra. That extra is only, but however, we are losing how many tomatoes? How much tomatoes here? 350, 420, 70 tons. So as we produce more of this fish, we are losing more or less the same amount of this. So for a small increase in our fish catch, we have lost a huge amount. In the early stages, when we shifted a bit of labor from tomatoes to fish, we obviously produced more, 310 tons for just 80 tons of lost tomato. But for more or less the same, 70 tons of tomato that we give up, we are actually only catching a bit of. So opportunity cost is rising now. So the opportunity cost of fish is rising in lost tomatoes, right? And this is because of the curve, the shape of it. And that's true. Yeah. Additional people do not necessarily produce more. We produce a bit more, but then we actually lose more from the from production of other factors, basically, right? So this is why the production possibilities frontier is also called a curve, and there exists opportunity costs. Okay, so I hope this demonstrates now the concept or explains the concept of opportunity cost and why production possibilities curve is a curve rather than a straight line. And then we will be using these ideas and concepts in our next lecture. See you later in the class then.